This is the greatest show on earth.
Any of you people out there that find humor in this, you're really a sick, vapid person. You got no soul. Do you think it's funny?
Here's to you. Get bent.
You people should be ashamed of yourself.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Frank Stallone. Who is this guy? This is the show where Doug, my co-host, and I, what we do is we go to Frank Stallone's, social media platform, which is usually Instagram, or his podcast interviews, and we, with the rest of the world, we try to figure out who exactly is Frank Stallone and what does he want from us. Doug, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Ryan. Nice to talk to you again.
Yeah, it's always good to talk to you. Look, you're probably one of my bestest friends who I've never met before. That's weird.
In this world of the internet, it is weird, but I get it. We listen to enough podcasts where co-hosts, guys that have been podcasting together for years, haven't met in person. It's just the age of the internet.
It is the age of the internet. I guess it's almost the new norm. It's not really a bad thing. It's actually a fascinating thing, really, where you can have relationships with people. That's the relationship, is we are online, we talk, we communicate, we have feelings, we have emotions. It's just we just haven't given each other a hug and kiss yet. One day.
Yeah. Look, if not for the internet, neither of us would know the other existed. So there's that. The internet has connected people all throughout the world.
It really has. If you're listening to this and you happen to listen to my It's a Long Road, the Rambo series podcast, where this show was born from, so a lot of the Frank Stallone listeners, put it this way, I don't think a lot of Frank Stallone podcast listeners are listening to this solely because they're fans of our take on Frank Stallone. They came into it from our journey with the Rambo franchise coverage that we did. And I'm doing a reboot of sorts, Doug, you might be aware of it, where I'm grabbing people who listen to my show, but specifically I'm trying to grab people I haven't really podcasted with yet. It's because it's a mini project. So far, I've had a couple listeners who've listened to me and they've joined their thoughts on the It's a Long Road reboot. I just recorded yesterday with a longtime listener of both my Rocky and Rambo podcasts. His name is Simon. And so, of course, I asked him, how did you find the show? Or do you or thanks for being the listener. And we talked about Frank Stallone. My first guest, Stuart, he loves the Frank Stallone coverage, right? He looks forward to a new drop, of course, but he wasn't too sure at first, like, what's going on here? And then he got into it. And then Simon was like, yeah, I liked it, but I can't handle Frank Stallone. Like, people have dropped out because Simon's coming from the camp of, it's Frank Stallone. Like, I can't listen to this guy anymore.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. That's partly why Dom tapped out. Because even Simon was saying, he was like, yeah, he just keeps saying the same thing. And I agree. So Doug and I, we have no choice. We've taken this mantle on, Doug, and we have to see this through.
It takes a special kind of crazy person, I'll say, to subject themselves to this once a month. I love doing it. He is repetitive for sure, but there's these nuances. See, we've been podcasting long enough that we pick up on the nuances. We're not listening to the overall message because really, honestly, who gives a flying shit what Frank Stallone has to say about anything, world politics, about working out, about boxing, about anything. But we research Frank for the nuances, and that's what we've come to know and love him for.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank, as always, the invitation stands. We'd love to have you on the show. We'd love to.
Yeah, we do. We cherish your opinion, Frank.
We cherish the fact that you are so bold and brave and sharing takes that are really quite controversial in many ways. And we're going to get into some of those takes. Yeah, some of the stuff that we're covering today, folks, is a little bit, quote unquote, behind current events because we do this about once a month. So he'll be talking about things that have come and gone, but that's okay because it's still trying to figure out who Frank Stallone is. We get into his thought process, how he views certain parts of music. There will be politics talk, but not as much as you would think, folks. Yes, he's a Trump supporter. He makes that very clear. But like Doug was saying, it's not so much about what he says about Trump or the Democrats, but it's the nuances. Why is he saying what he's saying, or how is it that he's saying it? We know what he's going to say. Guess what? He doesn't like Democrats. He loves Trump. Everything Trump does is perfect. Everything that the Biden party did before Trump was terrible. There you go. I've just summarized Frank Stallone's view of politics. Did I get that right, Doug? Or
Yeah, totally. And the thing is, especially nowadays, the pool of content is so deep because Trump is moving at such a breakneck speed with his policies and with the actions he's taking, and everything he does, the liberals hate it, or they have a counterpoint on everything Trump is doing. It's just a rich landscape of content for Frank.
oh, he loves it. He loves it.
So if you do want political Frank, there's no shortage of that.
This is the one thing I love about Trump winning for our coverage of Frank, because it's allowing us to see Frank in full unhindered mode. Because I think if the Democrats won, he would have been angry and upset. But I think with Trump winning, he feels emboldened to be a little bit more honest, a little bit more brave to say things that he isn't afraid of. Let's say being canceled. He can't cancel that which has never been.
Yeah. Right.
So anyways, we're gonna get to the clips now. You'll see what I mean. We got some good ones here. Well, Frank has provided some good ones. So Doug, the Oscars are coming. Okay. In fact, at the time of this recording, the Oscars are I think today. So behind the curtain here, we usually record about a week or a bit before the episodes get dropped because I have to edit and all that good stuff. But of course, the Oscar announcements were given. So before we play the video, sometimes he writes a little blurb that you can read and then you can watch the video like on Instagram. Right? So he said this, he goes, now that the DEI Oscars, what does DEI stand for? Do you know what it stands for?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay. But he believes that the Oscars have literally are doing this, that they're hiring or they're awarding Oscars that are now, I'm not saying that Frank is pro-white, maybe it's the easiest way to say it, but it seems like a lot of his gripes, Doug, and you'll see in the clips that we have today, it seems like a lot of his gripes and complaints usually has to do with something that isn't from the white product, if that makes sense. It's weird. No, I'm not saying he may be right or he may be wrong, but it just seems like a lot of his gripes have to do with the fact that it's not pro-white. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he'll come right out and say that either. He's not going to say, where's all the white people in the Oscars?
Yeah, he doesn't say, where's all the white actors or where's all the white artists, but it's always, he's griping about it.
It's right there, though.
It's right there. So here we go. So he goes, now that the DEI Oscars are coming, you will see wokeness and farce at its pinnacle. All these award shows keep getting worse over the years. It's supposed to be about talent, not politics or how many followers you have or who you pay off. I'm thinking this might be the last time you see some of these artists for a while after the Diddy and Epstein fiasco are exposed. So is he saying that the people that the Oscars have nominated are part of the Diddy and Epstein list as well?
I'm not sure what one has to do with the other. And it's not like the Epstein, the Diddy thing isn't related to DEI as a concept. It's just everybody was apparently going to those free golf parties at Diddy's, and people of all kinds were going on visiting Epstein's Island or what have you, allegedly. I don't know what DEI, the Oscars, has to do with the rest of that.
Yeah, he's talking about Hollywood, of course, and celebrities. So he's saying, I'm thinking this might be the last time you see some of these artists for a while.
Okay.
Because Diddy's and Epstein's list of people who have participated, that list will be exposed and those people will be either canceled or thrown in the brig. Okay. So anyways, here's the video.
Hello, sports fans. I saw something in the news with a picture of me. It looked terrible. And a little picture of Beyonce saying Sylvester Stallone's brother.
So he's starting off talking about how he read something in the paper. It's something very telling here. The plight of being Sly's brother is still continuing.
Hello, sports fans. I saw something in the news with a picture of me. It looked terrible. And a little picture of Beyonce saying Sylvester Stallone's brother, which was typical. I do have a name.
I do have a name cough.
It's the burden he's been carrying around for decades.
I love it. I love how this newspaper still said Sylvester Stallone's brother said this about Beyonce. The bone that he has to pick for Beyonce is fantastic. So some newspaper obviously picked up on his ranting about Beyonce, and of course that's the headline. Sylvester Stallone's brother gives a negative shout out to Beyonce's win at the Grammys. We should have called this Sylvester Stallone's brother. Who is this guy? We should have renamed the podcast.
Anyway, I was angry about the Grammys. This is the deal. Lainey Wilson won 7 CMA awards, 6 ACM awards. She's a country phenomena.
He's basically saying that Lainey Wilson, who I've never heard of before, I'm not a country listener, so I guess she's a very well-established or very talented country star. He's griping that this person who has all these great credentials at this nomination, who's won many awards probably herself, is what he's saying, lost this one year to Beyonce's much controversial, sure, on both sides of the fence, whether it's a country album or not, but it lost to Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album.
Okay? Why are the Grammys saying best country album? They're not qualified to do that.
They are, meaning that's who else picks for the Grammys.
Yeah, the Grammys is music. It's not just popular music. It's all music, right?
So this is basically Frank not conceding the election.
Yeah. But who cares? Who cares? Why is this even important?
Two things. It's because he's in music, right? So this is his, I'm in the music industry. And I would like to also point out for our audio listeners, Frank is wearing a cowboy-esque shirt here. Have you see that?
I guess to display his expertise in country music.
This isn't the only video where he dresses up for the theme, by the way. He dresses up for the occasion. Like he goes on Instagram, he puts on almost a costume. Like right now he's talking about country music. So he pulls out his country shirt. Okay, so the Grammys are not qualified to say who the Grammys think they should win. That actually is the qualification. They are the Grammys. Like they can say whatever they want. You don't have to agree with it, but that is the qualification. They run the program. They get to pick the winners. That's how it works. Same with the Oscars. Same with the VMAs. Same with whoever runs the show gets to pick the winners. You can you don't have to like it, but that's how it works. Yeah. That's the qualification, Frank. I'm sorry. It's not going to be a Biff at the mechanic shop who's making the vote. It's the people on the Grammy committee.
Not at all. That's not their thing.
Again, who else is going to do it?
Yeah. Who does he think is in charge of this? Or does he feel like because the country music has the CMAs that they shouldn't be counted in the Grammys?
That doesn't make sense as well because the Oscars have different categories. The Golden Globes have different categories.
Yeah.
There's even award institutions who just award science fiction movies, just horror movies. So the CMAs is an award show dedicated to a genre. So the Grammys is basically the Oscars of music, meaning there's different categories.
Encompassing.
Yeah.
I don't.
And that's why it's bogus. I'm sure she's won Grammys in her category that she's won.
Okay, so he's trying to be very careful here. I think he's referring to Beyonce now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Beyonce has won categories in her black categories.
Yeah, R&B.
Because he went on about the other artist, Lainey Wilson. Oh, she's a country star. And I'm sure Beyonce in her lane.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's saying. I've said this in the last episode, I think, but if you didn't listen to it, if Taylor Swift made the same album of Cowboy Carter, same music stylings, everything's the same, maybe tweaking some of the lyrics to make it not obvious because there's a lot of black messaging, of course, but the same music styling and the same singing styling, and Taylor won the album, I bet you Frank would have been like, oh, that's a little bit different a country album, but I'd like to see that Taylor had branched out and did something a little bit different. Am I wrong?
No, I think you're spot on. I think you're spot on because in his mind, it's the DEI thing where all the they're wiping away, they're blackwashing everything, right? They're wiping away the accomplishments of white people to insert black people into those accolades.
Yeah. Okay. Frank is upset that Beyonce won country.
Whatever. That's fine. I don't think 35, but that's what the beef is me about.
That's what the beef of me is about. He has a beef with himself.
Is he, or is he saying that Beyonce has a beef with him? Is he taking this personal?
Yeah, I don't think Beyonce knows you exist.
Yeah, right.
She's won Grammys in her category that she's won. Whatever, that's fine. I don't think 35, but that's what the beef is me about.
That's what the beef with me is about. What? I think he's saying maybe the paper, the writer, the article or something.
Yeah.
I think that was a dig at Beyonce because he said it's not 35 like the other individual. Again, he's combining that other country star. I forget her name already. What, Lainey Wilson or something?
Yeah.
Combining her country wins to Beyonce's, like a bit of a slight. I think Beyonce has a lot of different nominations. I could be wrong in awards. I don't know, but
she's an accomplished artist. Nobody could deny that. This is a weird hill to die on.
Oh, he's 75. He might die on this hill very soon. He's got to be careful. This could be his legacy.
Oh, man.
It's not the Grammys are not qualified to give a country award. The CMAs or the ACM, that's country people. That's real country music. So
what's the problem then? He's talking that, that weird Frank circle talk that he does. So he's mad that the Grammys look, if the Grammys gave best country album or album of the year or whatever to Lainey Wilson or whoever, because I think Beyonce won both, right? She won country album and album of the year with the Grammys or something.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. A better podcast would have the better research. But the point is he wouldn't be having this whole video if Beyonce didn't win, number one. So we know that. But he's also doubling down. He says the only people that can give country album awards are the AMC and or whatever and CMA or whatever. So then what's the problem? If the Grammys aren't qualified, then if Lainey won, if Lainey won, are they then still not qualified? Would he come on camera and say, oh, I know Lainey's a country star, but the Grammys are not qualified to give country album, so I don't agree with Lainey's win. What's the issue here then? Is it the winner or is it the committee making the winners?
Also, country is a subgenre of music. And Grammys, what's their area of expertise then? If they can't declare a winner for country music award, what makes them qualified to declare a hip hop award, R&B award, rock award? I don't understand. What is their area of expertise? What is their lane? What is the Grammys lane if they can't comment on country music?
It's not movies.
No, okay. I don't understand his point.
Let's see. I got the album of the year. The winner, so album of the year was okay. So he's bent out of shape that she won album of the year, Cowboy Carter. Okay. And there's song of the year, best new artist. So I'm seeing if there's country. Just give me a second here. Best country song. Best country album. Okay. There we go. So quick research, Doug. She won both album of the year and best country album. Okay. So he's bent out of shape that she won, I think specifically the country part. Again, it's because, we know why. Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
So I got slammed on it, but I don't care. I still stand by it. I thought it was wrong.
I got slammed by it. I don't care. I'm making a video.
It's standing his ground. He stands by it. He doesn't regret saying it. He's not apologetic about it. He's doubling down.
Sure. Here's the thing. I've watched many awards where my favorite actor, actress, movie, and then music. I don't care so much now, but when I was younger, in teens and early 20s, I was really wrapped up in the award shows. And I was disappointed when my hopeful pick or whatever, the one I wanted to win. But you know what? They didn't win, and I went on with my day. We'll use his brother. Like, I was really upset that Sly didn't win Best Actor at the Academies. Like, the other dude won it. I actually didn't agree with it. Right. I didn't agree with the choice. I thought Sly did a better job, and I thought maybe there was politics involved. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's just like you moved on.
It doesn't matter in the end. It does not matter one bit.
Wrong. I thought Lainey Wilson should have won. That's 13 country awards in a few years. That's
okay. This sounds like she's could spread the wealth a little bit there, Frank. Sounds like she's got enough.
How long is this video?
Are you ready to tap out? Doug, if you're ready to tap out, our listeners are going to be tapping out.
No, I just don't understand like how long he can dance in this circle saying the same goddamn thing.
That is the beauty of Frank.
pretty serious, okay? And they said with the CMA awards, Beyonce got 0. No votes at all. So
what he's saying, did you catch that?
The experts didn't declare her a winner, so why is the Grammys doing it?
That's right. There you go. That's the big payoff. All right. Now, It's because it's different people. It's a different committee, and they will have their reasons. Could it be politics? Because maybe the CMAs are all, maybe they all think like Frank.
Man, that's possible.
I don't know. I don't know who's on the committee. I'm just speculating here. These are speculation purposes only. Do not at me. I'm not slandering anybody. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying maybe the people on the CMA committee kind of think like Frank, and maybe the Grammy people don't think like Frank. That's a guess I have. I could be completely off my rocker.
Could be.
I just wanted to straighten that out, okay? And Post Malone is not a rapper. He's a little more than that. He's a good musician. And
did you catch that? Did you catch what he said by that?
I'm sorry. Did Post Malone win a rap award?
He was also up for Best Country Duo Performance with Morgan Wallen, stuff like that. Okay. But did you catch what he said? He's not just a rapper.
He's a good musician.
He's a good musician. Yeah. He's more than just a rapper. He's a good, again, that little slight. We're getting to know Frank Stallone a little bit with those comments. He's more than just a rapper, because rapper would be less than a musician. Right. Yeah, okay.
He does, rock and roll. But anyway, so I just wanted to vent. Okay, God.
Okay, I love that. I just wanted to vent. Okay, God. I love the way he ends that video. I don't know.
Really fizzled out at the end there.
Yeah. Okay, this next one. I think on this one, he starts off talking right away that he's so upset, Doug. He's so upset about things that are happening in the government right now or with a certain party that he didn't even have time to make himself look pretty. Like he just had to get on the camera and get going. There's just no time to waste.
That's what the influencers do, man.
That's true.
I won't even dignify combing my hair or trying to look halfway decent for these stupid, dumb Democrats that are supporting USAID, that is ripping American people off for billions of dollars, not millions, billions.
Okay. I just love how he intros that video. It's like, Frank, don't start now in that video, as he does in every video. But yeah. I love how he says, I didn't get myself looking all pretty for you, for all my fans of the 75-year-old man. I didn't get myself pretty and looking handsome.
He said he will dignify himself. So when has dignity ever played a role in Frank's life?
He's on the couch, sort of dark lighting for our listeners. He says, oh, I'm so upset with how things are going right now. I just got to get on my camera. You just don't understand how Doug, I just had to do this episode with you today. I didn't have time to put deodorant on. He goes on for a bit about whatever. And this is how that same video ends.
Why is there garbage on the street? Why are people peeing on the street and doing all these things? So I wouldn't even dignify myself to look halfway decent. I'm still in bed watching TV, and I'm just incensed by the stupidity of the Democratic Party. To my fellow Americans, fight, fight, fight.
Oh, my God.
Surprised he put a shirt on. He likes to go all natural.
Frank, move out of California, dude. I don't know why you stay there. I'll tell you this much. If I had any amount of money that he has and I had people peeing on my driveway, I'd move.
Yeah. Right.
There are places you can move to. I live in Canada, and there are parts in Canada where people pee and shite on the streets. It does happen in our country too. But guess what? I don't live around those places. There are places you can move to when you have means. Frank has more means than me and you, Doug.
That is correct. But then he wouldn't find a dive bar that he can play at every 2 weeks.
Oh, that's true. Fight. You like that? Yeah.
The throwback to Trump.
Well, what I don't understand too, and Frank's not the only one that does it. This happens all the time with social media and influencers. Would you with your phone buzzing? What's going on over there?
You hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like, what do you got, Mr. Popular over there? You got more text coming in?
It's my son's team group chat, and my fucking Ring doorbell keeps going off when cars drive by. Sorry.
Right. I don't think you should be in your son's friends group. That's pretty weird. hey kids, how you doing? Daddy Doug here.
Daddy Doug. It's for the parents, by the way.
Yeah. Your kid looked really cute on the field today.
I make them call me Coach.
That's right. Okay, shower time, boys. Wasn't there that coach that did that? Who was that?
Sandusky from Penn
That's
State.
right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being so like, I gotta see those boys. I gotta see them.
No, it's so bizarre to me.
I'm like, I'm good. You guys go ahead. All right. So where were we? Yeah. So this is the issue with influencers in general, or just when people do this kind of, or even when you see it on your friends' social sometimes, it's like, what do you expect me to do? Fight. What does that mean? Am I going to the street, Frank, and punching homeless people in the face? What am I fighting? What am I What am I actually really doing? What is he doing?
The only thing we could do is vote, which is,
Right.
what we did.
Yeah.
And then like, if there's something that, is up for debate in Congress or the Senate or whatever, you can call your local congressman and
Sure.
tell them how you feel about it. Otherwise, that's it. You're not fighting anything.
That's what I mean.
Protests don't work. I'm boycotting this. I'm boycotting that. Like, none of it works. Listen, I'm in a field of work where we're public servants, so we can't strike.
Yeah, me too.
So
yeah,
if we disagree with something, there are ways to send a message. But we, as a union, have talked about, say, like ticket strikes. Don't write any tickets. But you need 100% compliance from your membership. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So unless you have 100% compliance from your political party and the people that are in line with you, your protests, your boycotts, none of that shit is going to work. So stop it.
Yeah, it just stops me from getting home.
Yeah.
You ever see those videos where people are protesting? The guy gets out of his car, drags him away, and starts grabbing a guy. I don't even know what they're protesting, but I always cheer for the driver.
A good one recently where a guy, like, the K turned his car and backed the muffler right up to the protester sitting in the middle of the street. And it was one of those cars that had the big exhaust and revved the engine.
Here's the thing. Less people think we're just terrible people, which is fine. I'm not saying what they're asking for is wrong. Because when you read the comments too, what often people will say is, oh, is that what they're protesting? Now I'm anti that. Like, it almost makes their cause, it almost gets people angry at the cause in a weird way. Here's the question. Has anyone's mind ever been changed because of a social media post?
Zero.
Honestly,
times. I would say 0 times.
Let's say you are a Republican and you see a Democratic post. Do you ever go to yourself, and this goes for both parties, but I'm just using one posting for the other one to read, right? Does the Republican look at that Democratic post and go, you know what? That meme really hit me. I never considered that before. People do jump parties after a while, sure, to some degree. But it's usually because the policies are changing or the party narrative is changing. It has very little to do with what people are posting. Like, I'll use Bill Maher as an example. He's almost a centrist now, but he's part of the Democratic Party. But even the Democratic Party doesn't like him that much because he's more centrist, if that makes sense. But he himself has said, I've never changed, he says. I actually haven't changed any way I feel about politics, race, religion, education, rights. Because I've been feeling this way for 50 years. The party changed.
Right. Yeah. That's where it comes from. It's not, like you said, if you're making these posts, you're doing one of two things. You're screaming into an echo chamber where like-minded people are just going to agree with you, or you're looking to start a fight with the opposite side.
Yeah, because that's usually what happens. If somebody disagrees, it's very rarely is it a cordial discourse. Yeah. Politics is
the worst, and it's never been more exposed than it is now.
But Frank's keeping us in check. Fight.
Thank God.
This is pre-Super Bowl. This is the middle of an Instagram video. He's in his
Bronco?
O.J. Simpson. It's O.J. Simpson Bronco. He's just going to tell us the Super Bowl plans. And he's also going to give us a pick. So when this is over, I want you to tell me who he's rooting for. And he's also going to tell you what his Super Bowl plans are.
Most important thing, we got a big game coming up. And I know I'm wearing the Eagles thing, but I haven't lived in Philadelphia for 55 years. I like the Eagles. They're tough, man. The Birds are tough. Kansas City, I don't know about that, boy. They are something else.
Okay. Who's he rooting for? You just listened to that great Super Bowl breakdown. Who are you putting money on with his analysis there?
Expert commentary. Oh, the something else Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, it's just funny. The Eagles are tough. Those Birds are tough. But I tell you, Because if people said, Frank, you said so was going to win, he's safe on either side. Yeah, go look at the video. I told you. Those Kansas.
Yeah. He really towed the line. A couple of months ago, remember, he was wearing the Detroit Lions hat in one video, the Eagles hat in another. Politics, he makes no mistake on which side he falls on, but sports, he plays jump rope with the line there.
Now he's going to tell you who Super Bowl plans are. I'm going to ask you, are these his plans, or did he not get invited to anything?
But it's going to be fun. I don't think I'm going to do the Super Bowl party. I'm really not a dip bowl of chips dip kind of guy, drinking beer and making too much noise and crazy stuff, because I want to watch the game. But anyway, I thank you all for your kind responses to my little put my 2 cents in kind of guy. So I wish you all the best and a beautiful, safe weekend.
Now he's talking about the end there. Of course, people were supporting him on his social media, of course, his echo chamber, that his rants on Beyonce were legit. But he says he likes to watch the game. He can't be bothered with snacks and dip and beer. He just wants to sit at home alone and watch the game in peace and quiet. No. Is that true, or was he not invited to anything? Which one do you think?
It's totally, he wasn't invited. That's 100% what it is.
How dare you? He was probably turning down invitations left and right. Are you kidding me?
He was probably reaching out to everybody, to Alex, saying, Alex, well, you busy for the Super Bowl? He's, sorry, Frank, I'm going to my friends, Frank's like, mind if I tag along? Oh, it's a really exclusive, Frank. Sorry. Frank's got nothing to do.
This one. Okay, audience, I want you to close your eyes and tell me what you think he's saying or what he's talking about. That's all. It's a very quick clip. What is he talking about?
I have big hands. I bought this in Italy 35, 40 years ago. The size of this thing. It's big. That's Italian.
He did like 3 videos in a row of him flipping over different switchblades. That's all. Did you catch the thumbnail? His actual thumbnail?
No. Is it a Coke nail? Does it looks a little long?
It's for his. Look at that.
Oh my God. Yeah, trim your nail, Frank. Use that switchblade.
It's for his...
guitar picking, right?
Yeah.
It's big.
But that's weird. I'm sorry. I thought guitars. I've seen a lot of different guitarists in my life. I don't know. That's very unappealing. I'm sorry. It's gross. His girlfriend holds his hand. Can you imagine that?
He's got longer nails than she does.
Oh, probably. That's funny.
That's Italian.
Okay, check this video.
I did watch. I saw this one. Why is he dressed up like a sergeant major?
Now, I thought he was trying to be silly. Guys, this is probably the biggest video we've ever gotten to Frank. Frank, on this one, Doug, he's coming in strong, okay, on this video. And his brother, Sly, actually pipes up, says, listen up, Frank the Bank makes sense. Okay, fair enough. So Sly's given his Sly Stallone stamp of approval. And it's funny, since Trump's victory, Sly has been more vocal on Frank's Instagram.
That's interesting.
It is weirdly interesting. Again, they're both Republicans. That's fine. That's their right. Again, their party won, so obviously they can be celebratory. And that's the thing, though, is like by Trump winning, Sly, who's now the ambassador of Hollywood from Trump, right? So he's being more public speaking about this sort of stuff. So anyways, for our listeners, our viewers on YouTube see this already, but for our listeners, Frank is dressed up in army fatigues of some sort. I don't know what country this is from. I should have used search image to see. Actually, I can do that right now real quick.
It looks like it's like a World War II era army uniform or something.
Yeah, so let me just...
Can AI give you the answer?
Yeah, I use Grok. Actually, I just switched over to the Grok payment plan. I was a big ChatGPT user, and I tried Grok, like the 3-day trial or the free trial that Elon rolled out. And I thought I'll give it a try. It is so much faster it's so much faster.
No kidding.
It really is fast responses and stuff, and there's less filter on it. So,
do you have to go to X to use it, or is it?
Yeah, you use it within your X account. It's free to use, but there's different plans and different versions of it. I use the top plan. Basically, it's my new Googling tool. I use because if you don't know how it works, folks, AI, like ChatGPT, what they're called LLM, was a large language model. It's just Google. It's Google on steroids, meaning it curates the internet. You're still Googling, but it'll take the internet. Instead of you say, how do I make apple pie? Or you could ask Grok or ChatGPT. You could say, I want to make apple pie with no sugar, the least amount of carbs, whatever. Then it'll curate the internet, take all the information it can find, and then it'll create a recipe for you just like that.
Instead of sending you to a web page.
That's right. Instead of you going, oh, there's a low carb pie there, there's a link there. Like you going to every single link, finding the best link. You tell exactly what you want, and it just tells you. Boom. Okay. I'm just going to quickly upload the photo right now. I'm going to ask Grok, what uniform is this? Let's see what it says. This is how quick it is, just like that. The uniform in the image appears to be a military-style uniform, likely from the U.S. Army. The sleeve insignia, known as a sergeant chevron, indicates the rank of a sergeant. The olive drab color and design suggests it could be a historical or reenactment uniform, possibly from the mid-20th century, such as World War II or the Korean War era. However, without additional context or higher resolution, I can't pinpoint the exact time period or branch with certainty.
Looks like Doug knows his history a little bit.
Based on the image, I can't clearly see any specific decorations, medals, or insignias on the chest of the uniform due to the angle, lighting, and resolution. So, yeah.
Maybe he'll turn during the course of the video. You could get a better shot of it.
See how fast that is, though? That was only real time.
That was incredible.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. He's in full, like, he's in military mode, Doug. He ain't effing around. He's serious. He's got his brass knuckle coffee mug, which he's going to take a sip from to show you how serious he is. But I love how he doesn't hold the handle. He shows the brass, he doesn't hold the handle. And over his right shoulder, he has Fozzie Bear and Miss Piggy on the counter and the Muppets or puppets or whatever. He's going to bring that up. They're going to come into play.
Oh,
here we go.
Morning, everybody.
Takes a nice loud sip.
Very early in California. We're going to have a rainy day. But I'd just like to go on subject. How does a congressperson that makes...
Did he say, I just have to go on subject? What does he say there? I just have to go on subject?
He didn't rehearse this before hitting record.
True. No, he didn't rehearse it, but he dressed up for it.
Yeah. I wonder if that chest insignia is a little more clear when he kind of turns towards
everybody. Very early
right
in
there.
California. We're going to have a rainy...
Yeah, let me see if I can snip it. But I love how he tells us the weather. Okay, thanks. Cool. That's the
weather. Rainy there. Hey, guess what? It's sunny here.
This says here, based on the zoomed-in image, it's difficult to discern the specific details, but it appears to be a patch, badge, or insignia on the chest of the uniform, given the context of the early image. It's just U.S. Army.
Yeah.
But the image isn't clear enough for it to give it more context.
All right.
So I love how he says the weather, cool, but it goes... But to stay on subject or to keep on subject, listen to that.
Any day. But I'd just like to go on subject.
Go on subject.
Go on.
How does a congressperson that makes $165,000 a year, which is too much money...
He would know that's too much money. I can't fathom that amount. That's what Doge is for. Hey, I don't care if you're Canadian, American, Italian. If you're stealing money, that's wrong. Okay, we all believe or should believe it's wrong to do that. If you're getting money illegally or bending the rules, I think that is wrong too. I get it. I'm not saying he's wrong about how he feels. It's just it's the whole presentation. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
He's in his army fatigues. He's ready to fight. You can't fathom that kind of money.
End up like Ilhan Omar with $80 million. And I think it's Richard Rosenthal, the phony from Connecticut, like $60 million. $165,000 a year into $80 million.
Yeah, we understand. We got it.
Ilhan Omar, the one that has been convicted multiple times of anti-American sentiment, married to her brother. Behind me, Fozzie Bear and Miss Piggy can figure that out.
Whatever, sure, sure, Frank. Whatever you're saying, but I love that he dressed up for this, got his brass knuckle mugs, and he put on the counter the Muppets.
Mm-hmm. He staged everything.
Yes, and he made sure that the camera angle was just right, that he sees them over his shoulder. He put more effort into this video than he does in his movie roles.
There's some senility that might have start setting in here. He goes to his closet and gets out his prop army uniform, sets up like two Muppet characters have nothing to do with one another.
It's to show you that even these inanimate cartoon character, whatever puppets, they understand it. How come you don't?
Army uniform?
Because he's not fooling around, Doug. This is war. This is war. This is a call to arms. This is a call to arms.
When he starts the video, he's sitting like this so he could show like the shoulder patches, his rank, and whatever. Like he never served in the army.
He was at the military school when he was a kid. How dare you?
All right.
How dare you? He's a veteran.
Oh, God help us.
They're crooks. Or if you could tell me how I could make $80 million in a few years, making $165,000 a year, please send me your account.
He's actually not joking. He wishes. If you could tell me how I could be rich like my brother, slide me a DM. That was not a sarcastic request. Please. Yeah. I think he's a little
some of these insider stock trading secrets.
I am not a person that is driven by money.
Well, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Imagine how miserable you would be, Frank, if you wish you were rich. I think he's at peace with the fact that he's not overly wealthy. Isn't that good, Doug? He's at peace with it, I think.
Modest and humble, as one should be.
But I would take that.
Okay, all right. Disregard last.
We're driven by money, but gimme.
Everyone has a price. I told you, if they offered him $80 million right now, here, Frank, the deep state goes to him and says, Frank, we've been following Instagram. You have a great pull over the people. Here's $80 million to change parties. Would you do it?
Totally. He can be bought and sold just like that because he is so desperate for fame and money.
Oh, that we're just speculating for the record. This is just speculation.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. We're just speculating. We could be wrong.
I think any American would. So wake up. All you people, wake up and understand they're stealing your money. The money does not produce itself or come down from a tree.
Trust me, I've looked for that tree everywhere I go. Where is that tree, Sly? How come you have so much money? Where are you getting your money, Sly?
A forest of money trees in his backyard.
I keep planting money trees. It's just not working for me.
Plant the dollar, Frank. A money tree will sprout.
Okay. So he's getting really ramped up here, folks. He's getting really ramped up. And he's about to say something that kind of threw me. I think it's not very often that Frank does this, but check it out.
The more money these people spend on ripping people off, ripping you off, the higher your taxes go. Please use your fucking brains.
Holy
wow.
Jeez, man. Frank, relax. I'm scared. He's not fooling around. He's in military facility, swearing like a sailor.
Yeah. Sitting in a house by himself, just screaming into the ether.
Okay, let's say everything he's saying is absolutely true. Okay, now what? I've used my brains. I agree with you. Okay, Frank, I agree with you. Am I going to go to their house and kill these people? What am I supposed to do? And your party's in control, so we should be fine at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't understand the call to arms. What do you...
That's right. So anyways, use your brains, your effing brains.
So when you see these idiots out there protesting, realize they are the thieves. They are the robber barons. Have a blessed day.
Like everybody who thinks the same way as Frank gets that, understands that.
Yeah.
I'm going to change anybody's mind who doesn't already believe that.
Right. As big as Frank might think his Instagram influence is, who's actually going to his videos, who is a Democrat, watches the video and goes, Matt, Frank, I never considered that. I truly never considered this. Thank you. How are those people making so much money? I'm going to start using my brain and thank
your effing brains.
Your effing brain. But then have a blessed day. And we're going to get a little sweet callback back to the Muppets. Here we go.
Miss Piggy and Fozzie Bear, geniuses compared to Illy and Omar.
Ooh.
Really?
But remember, be kind.
Yeah. Illy and Omar is going to feel that for decades.
Okay. All right. Now, this next one here, he's in his pajamas again. And this is a callback to that earlier video where he's got a lot to say. He doesn't have time to get dressed. He's in his pajamas. He just woke up and he's got to tell the world before the day gets going here. Things are happening. He just does not have time to get pretty for the camera.
I'm still in my jammies watching the news. This is the greatest show on earth.
He's referring to the fact that I think his party is in place. So I think that's what he's referring to.
I love watching these Democrats squirm.
Squashing your enemies into oblivion. I don't think that unites the country either. That's what I'm trying to say.
Isn't there like a saying that says, be humble in victory and gracious in defeat?
Yes.
He's not being very humble in victory.
Or gracious.
Or gracious at all. But yeah, have a little humility there, Frank.
I think so. And this is real talk. I mean, I know we're having fun, we're being silly, but the reality is, yes, for any country, you want everyone to get everything that they need to have a successful country. Do you live on your street and go, oh, I hope my neighbor loses their job because they're different. They root for a different team than me. Politics is just like rooting for sports teams. It's weird to me. I hope my neighbor loses their job or the car breaks down because they root for a different hockey team than me. Like, why would I?
No.
Like, it's a weird concept. Like, I would be like, no, I'm sorry your team lost, but hey, it's still a good game, or maybe your team will do better next year. Or it's so odd that you have to grind them down. Yeah, you got what was coming to you. Ha ha ha. That's not the American way. It shouldn't be the American way.
No, but for right now, okay, Trump is currently doing the things that he said he was going to do when he got in.
Right.
And yes, the other side is bitching and complaining and yelling and screaming about every move that he's making. But you, Frank, it's your side that won. So right now, let the man cook.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Frank should say what I've heard from people that are pro-Trump or who are more centrist. They're like, the Democrats need to figure out how to win next time. That's how they should be focused on. Okay, we lost this battle, but we have to regroup, and they need to figure out who do we get. Because elections come very quick because they start pre-planning 2 years out. So they got to figure out who is the person that's going to run against J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
That's my guess. And I'm not even a political expert. I'm just guessing. I assume J.D. is going to run.
Probably.
Yeah.
In their own slime because they're going to prison. You see what's going on with Social Security. People that are 150 years old that are getting paid, that are getting benefits up to almost 200 years old.
He's just jealous that people who are dead are making more money than he makes.
Yeah. Oh, that are hundreds of years old.
He's like, how do I get a cut of that dead money?
Maybe if I was dead.
It's billions and billions of dollars of your taxpayer money. Everything, the Pentagon, all this stuff. We're getting rid of these people out of our country. I don't feel sorry for them.
They're all... You don't have to feel sorry for them, but you don't have to wish bad things. Like, again, we're humans. We're humans. He does have a comment to say. It's coming up pretty quick, I think, here regarding how he feels about the people that disagreed with him. Have you seen this video yet?
No.
Okay. This is Frank's on fire. He's on fire. He's very passionate right now.
Because they shouldn't be here in the first place. So you can cry all you want. I
think he's talking about Selena Gomez, by the way, there.
Mm.
Did you see that video?
Yes.
She pulled it down very quickly, but the internet never forgets. So he's referring to that, I believe, literally referring to that video. And so he's just saying, yes, he doesn't come out and say it, but he says, I don't feel sorry for the people that don't belong here that are being sent back home. And you go ahead and cry about that. I don't care that they're getting sent back home. Okay.
Disdain for the Democratic Party gets deeper and deeper every day. I think they're the fucking lowlifes.
Wow.
Now, isn't like there's a saying when you hate somebody or something, and it's often referred to as revenge, but the idea being like revenge is like poison. You keep drinking it, hoping it kills the other person.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
There's many sayings in regards to that.
I'm not a saint. I'm not perfect. I get it. To say that your hatred is growing deeper every day, I don't know if that's a healthy way to live. I don't think you should hate anything that much. And it grows deeper every day for him.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. What happens is like your hatred for the things that you hate overtake any feelings of joy or love or anything that you have for the things that you love. And he's really treading on dangerous ground, especially by putting that out there into the universe too. How about this, Frank? Ignore the liberals or just listen to them and laugh about it.
Sure.
And just focus on your own prosperity or the country's prosperity, whatever you believe is going to happen out of this Trump term. Focus on that, the good things. I swear you'll be a happy guy. Happier, at least.
Now, his behavior, especially on Instagram and maybe and otherwise, has affected some of his friendships and some of the people that he's associated with, as maybe would happen. And if you're, especially when you're very vocal about it and stuff, it's going to, if people don't agree, that's fine. That's going to happen. I've made this comparison before. I was a member of a faith for many years, my whole life. When I left that faith, it's a very Orthodox faith. I won't say which one, you can guess. And when I left it, I admit I lost friends. Like, I got it, but I wasn't confused by it. I understood, okay, we're not part of the same community anymore. I understand. So we're not friends anymore. But what he says about that wasn't my response to that situation, but let's see what he says, how he deals with the fact that people of his community aren't part of his community anymore because of his vocalness. Here we go.
And they've been ripping us off for 50 years. Hopefully, we will never see a Democrat in the White House again, at least in my lifetime.
That's a guarantee.
You got about 4 more years.
Frank, I think you're going to get your wish. I think you're good to go.
The timer's ticking, Frank. 4 years to go.
You're gonna go on a high note. You're gonna die happy knowing that the Republicans in office. Can you imagine dying? I'm ready to be released from this mortal coil. I can die happy knowing that my party is in office. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, now he's going to talk about his community of friends. I think now,
if the job they're doing succeeds like I know it will, we will never see a Democrat in the White House for maybe 50 years.
Well, that's a bold claim. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true for anyone. That's ridiculous. I wouldn't be surprised in 50 years if it's a third party that's in, quite frankly.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think Trump is going to go down as one of the great presidents. I'm telling you right now. And all my Democratic friends that unfriended me, that dissed me, here's to you.
Oh my God.
Okay, do you want to explain to the listeners what he just did?
Yeah, he's giving, as we call in the States, the bird to the camera, flipping off all of his Democratic friends who unfriended him.
That is a terrible look.
Yeah. Nobody likes being preached to. Nobody about anything. And it's politics and religion are the biggest preachy subjects, so to speak. Yep. And extremism isn't good one way or another. All right, Frank. No. Even if everything that you feel is good is happening, that is good. It's not all or nothing. Okay. I think you'd be much happier if you found a balance, like in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I'm a centrist by nature. Obviously, I'm a Canadian, if anyone didn't know. Even if I had an opinion about American politics, it doesn't matter. I can't even make the changes. I can't fight. I can't vote one way or the other. I can hold opinions on how I see things happening because it does certainly affect the world. Certain decisions affect I'm north of you guys, and there's already issues regarding tariffs and stuff, and I have opinions on that. So the point I'm trying to say is that there are things that liberals, the same in our country, so there's things that liberals do that I agree with. There's things that conservatives do that I agree with. And then on both parties that I disagree with. So that's what makes voting for me very difficult, Doug, because I don't agree with everything. It's almost like you have to have a scale of which one holds the most agreements.
Yeah.
Or which of the things that I agree with do I think will affect my life more.
Yeah. Or if you could take the good things that you like about this side and the good things you like about that side and create a third party or something. Yeah.
So anyways, if people disagree with me and unfriend me because of my sports analogy, I'll give you the bird too, like Frank.
Get bent.
Thank you, Frank.
Get bent. Now, very strong videos, but the last video, he's happy. And it says, we're all in this together. Here we go.
This guy can't pick a lane.
God bless America. God bless all my good friends. God bless the American working man and woman. We are on the roll.
Okay, so we're on the roll. Okay. Now this next video, we're all in this together, guys. It's all gravy. It's all gravy.
Folks, I've been missing in action for a few days, but I'm doing really well. And I just wanted to comment on Joy Reid being taken off MSNBC.
Is all of his camera angles strategic? Is he specifically in this room displaying that case of
boxing? Metal? It looks like boxing memorabilia. I see some photos behind. It's his boxing museum, part of his house. Of course it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's really happy that somebody was fired from there.
I think people are tired of identity politics. I think people are tired of racial separation.
You seem very energized by it.
Yeah, you don't seem tired at all.
We're all in the same boat. We're all Americans.
All right. We're all in this together. There you go. See, we're all in this together.
All should try to get along.
What a flip-flopper he is.
I know. We all should get along 2 minutes earlier. F you.
And see us prosper. And we don't need people like Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, Lawrence O'Donnell, and such, and The View.
And The View. I love you and The View. And The View. All those cackling hens at The View. Look, I don't care what side of the fence you're on, but if you enjoy that show, I wonder about you. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, that's played at like old folks' home who don't have the power to change the channel. Come on. There's no way anyone objectively watches that show for entertainment.
No, they don't actually have an audience.
Sit there and separate us. We're all in this boat together. We're all in this boat together, you know. All right.
So he's saying, don't let these people separate us. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
Yet, wasn't he just taking glee in liberals losing their minds and losing their jobs and stuff?
How dare you say that Frank contradicts himself?
Oh, my bad.
Oh, and, you know, the president, he's trying. You know, illegal aliens are down 95%. Crime.
I'm not sure about that percent. Is that true?
I
don't know. Actually,
I think border crossings are down about that much.
Okay.
But
crime is coming down.
Yeah, they basically shut the border down so they physically can't cross.
Oh, illegal aliens are down 95%. Crime is coming down. He's only been in office 30 days, folks. So he's done almost the impossible. But we have to have the faith. So I think all these shows are going to start falling by the wayside because I think people just don't want to hear it anymore. I think people want hope. And I think people want to be happy and secure with their families. And they don't need people out there race baiting each other using identity politics. So on that note, have a great day. Stay positive. We're going to right this ship. God bless.
He's only talking to people that are like-minded.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah. People think that we're just a comedy episode. One, we're not very funny. But two, these are big, important topics. And Doug and I don't have any answers. Frank has the answers. So, Frank, if you're watching this, we recognize that we don't have the answers. We're trying to learn. And we appreciate your teaching us, Frank, on how to be, who to vote for, how to think. Because Doug and I, we're just trying to figure out who he is. Who is this guy? What makes him tick? But this is a very passionate. He was very passionate this week. He got dressed up in country fatigues, army fatigues. He was using puppets. Very entertaining month of Instagram videos, Doug.
Yeah, these were good. Thank you for curating this week and all the weeks that you curate these videos. I appreciate the work you do and the editing. And I basically just show up and don't bring the funny, but that goes great for our audio listeners. But Frank he's an interesting case study because, we don't know who he is. We do know what he stands for, but we don't know the ins and outs of this guy. We're learning what makes him tick. But I like these adventures that we go on to really get inside his psyche and break him down because it's fascinating. He is a fascinating character.
He is fascinating. And the important thing is he's making us think. He's actually making your country in particular, Doug, think about the important things for your future. So I want to thank Frank for his bravery, for putting on that uniform, for fighting for your country, for his service.
Putting on the prop uniform.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And I agree. I think Frank will not see another party in his lifetime.
Oh, didn't he? Wait, wasn't he recently promoting a movie where it's a military movie?
Yeah, Veterans Day. We're still waiting for that drop. It hasn't.
Oh my God, is that a uniform from that set?
How dare you?
Is that a film prop?
Dom and I, we covered that when he was walking on the street wearing the uniform. We didn't know why he was wearing it when someone told us. I think it's Veterans Day, the filming of Veterans Day.
For the filming.
So I don't think he got paid. I think he got to take the uniform home. He said, "Could I wear that in a future Instagram video?" Yeah.
Oh, right. I love it. All
right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. This has been another fun recording. It's funny how fast a month goes, but one, we need a bit of content. Frank, it looks like he posts quite a bit, but I didn't put every video that he posts because the majority of them are just him. Yes, obviously very political. He's pro-Trump. It's great. Good for him. He's allowed to be happy about it. But we try to get to the nuances with these videos. So we have to curate enough to showcase those nuances. Thanks, Doug, for hanging out with me and for our audience for sticking around. Somebody sent us an email. I'm going to make a plea here. People are listening to this freaking show. Like, people listen to this show. It's one of the top shows on the network. I'll tell you right now. It's actually the top show on the network.
That's incredible to me. Why?
If you listen to this, send us an email. I just want to hear your thoughts. Anybody, please. I'm begging. It's quiet in the comments section, but it's high in the listening section.
What's the email address?
I'll say the email address, but I think it's in the show notes. But you're right. So the address, pretty straightforward. Frank Stallone Podcast. There you go. Frank Stallone Podcast, all together, one word, @gmail.com. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email. Let us know what you think of the show and what you think of Doug and all that good stuff. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.
I can take it. Trust me.
So I think all these shows are going to start falling by the wayside because I think people just don't want to hear it anymore.